Okay. There were a lot of reasons to worry going in here. Mostly because they were going to turn this into a musical. I was very hesitant about that. But also they were going to retcon that Joker Harley Quinn storyline, that great storyline in Mad Love, which I believe has a lot of potential, a lot of wealth of material there. It's kind of like Silence of the Lambs meets like the last half of Hannibal, Thomas Harris's book Hannibal, not the movie. You kind of get that dark thriller element, and I wanted that. I wanted to see Joker continue to go down that path of depravity and kind of become the manipulative anarchist monster that you see in most of the movies and the TV shows. But this just kind of feels like director Todd Phillips and all of his crew was kind of left to their own devices, and it just doesn't work out too well. Here we're still kind of dealing with Arthur rather than Joker. He's in the Arkham State Hospital now. The guards know him from the TV show, and they're all brutal and sadistic, and they jokingly mock him. Hey, Arthur, got a joke for us? Ha 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 ha. His lawyer is trying to get him out of the prison part of the hospital to a real part of the hospital because she believes that he has a split personality disorder. But then one day he's in music therapy and he meets Lady Gaga's Lee Quinn. She's a pyro with darker impulses. He's him. It's a meet cute at first sight. Let's just for a moment take a minute to respect what Joaquin Phoenix has brought to this role. I mean, just in the way he's lost the weight, he looks so gaunt, his bones are sticking out now. It's all very creepy looking. Also, there are moments where you just kind of feel horrified either for him or at him. The moments where he's just, you can't tell if he's laughing or crying, but it doesn't really feel like he's bringing much in the way of newness to the character this time. It all kind of feels like leftovers. We thought that he was descending into madness by the final part of the first movie, but no, apparently he can climb out of madness anytime he wants. Seems to have just reverted back to being Arthur again, who is just that kind of low key, lethargic, sort of not very mentally stable guy. Something that also seems odd is that he also seems to have lost that kind of nervous laugh that was so prevalent in the first movie. But the problem with this movie is that it makes the ending of the first movie feel moot. It feels like it's kind of playing with madness in a way that doesn't really make sense. Arthur going down that staircase in the first movie should have been a metaphor for something that was more tangible, but instead, this movie's like, oh, you can kind of go up that staircase again anytime you want. It's all just a matter of willpower. That's not madness. Also, and I'm not really sure if this movie is saying anything at all, but is it saying that love can take us out of madness? Is it saying that love can prevent madness? If so, I need a little bit more information here, something that the movie is not really giving me. Here, this movie is a very weak psychological study compared to the first one. And what makes this movie even harder to accept is that Lady Gaga is not really playing much of anything. She's Harley Quinn, but scrub clean of everything that Harley Quinn is. There's no zaniness, there's not even much of the outfit or anything like that. At one point, the movie allows her to wear the eye makeup, but that's about it. She is about as plain Jane as they come, and also there's nothing for her to really play other than smitten. Also, this movie is a musical, which is something where you would think that she would kind of shine in, but the movie is having her hold back. They want a sensitive performance out of her, which is, I guess you could say, acting having her hold back, where it just seems like she really wants to belt out a song. So even as a singing performance, it comes down way below expectations. Other than this one song where she's kind of singing about building a mountain, it makes no sense. I had no idea what the hell she was even singing about, but at least she has some life to it. And as to the music itself, I mean, there's no real original stuff here. It's just kind of jukebox stuff. A lot of it seeming to come from the Warner Brothers musicals of the early years. These are all just musical montages that seem to play out in Arthur's head, yet they suck mostly because the songs are not memorable. Phoenix cannot sing. Phillips, he has no clue how to stage these things. There's no excitement, there's no rush. It kind of feels like characters are just lip syncing, even when they're not. As far as movement goes, it's all stiff and not very exciting. This is all just very, very bad and poorly done. All of this makes you wish that they actually did use that Mad Love storyline, because at least then these characters would have had something to play. But instead, there's nothing for them. So we have to go through these kind of merry songs that don't really mean much, and then we have to go through a trial, which is usually death for most movies, and it is here. The main issue here is Arthur's competency hearing, which should, if you look at him, take about 5 minutes. But no, Phillips has to drag this thing out for 45 goddamn minutes, rehashing everything that happened in the first movie. It's too damn long, it's so boring, it's not exciting, and by the end of it, it proves that nothing that we've seen during the trial even matters. From then, something happens that we don't even care about, and then there's the finale thing, which is just a complete troll job. This whole thing just proves that the entire movie was a troll job all from the start. This whole thing reminds me of that kind of avant-garde movie that Phoenix made years ago, where he just kind of walks around like a mental patient version of himself. I think it was called I'm Still Here or something like that. Just everything here about what he's doing, what Phillips is doing, it all feels like just this ironic joke that they're trying to play on the audience. I think that they both had a pretty good laugh with this movie, but I think everyone else is just going to think it's a really, really bad joke. It just sucks the life out of everything that you wanted to see out of this character, everything that you wanted to see out of this movie. It's just a complete and utter disgrace. That's why I'm going D, guys. That's my opinion. Love to hear yours. Let me know down below there. Also, if you could, click that like button, click that subscribe button, and I do hope to see you back next time. I thank you so much. Bye bye.